Dear fellows, welcome back to the channel. And we have just started a series of different lectures which are covering about a few concepts of chemistry, biology, for also for the biochemistry. They are covering up different boards. It's like I related to the Cambridge, the Excel, the classes like IGCSE, A levels. So we are trying our best to provide you with the quality material and to try to make it easier and simpler for you. And that's why we have selected a general topics, and we have tried to add maximum points which we can and to make the points simple as much as they could be. Now, in today's lecture, we are going to cover something which is called as the difference between plants and animal cell. The basic difference among the plant and animal cell is that the plant cell contain a layer which is called as cell wall outside them, and the animal cell lack that cell wall. That is the first major difference which you might have heard from your teachers as well also. So the thing is that, as you can see, there is a layer outside which is called a cell wall. It is available here. It is the outermost layer. It is although not that effective, but it is eligible enough to protect the cell from the damages of the outer side atmosphere, maybe from the damages caused by the insects, maybe from the sun rays. So even it works well in the defensive purposes, but it's not that good in the selectivity. Now, what the term selectivity mean? It is basically the characteristic associated with the membrane which lies next to the cell wall. It is basically termed as cell membrane or the plasma membrane. Now, plasma membrane is highly selective. It is capable enough to select which materials should move into the cell and which materials should move outside the cell. So it is extremely selective, and cell membrane won't allow anybody else who is not needed to enter into the cell. So that's it. The next point is about the nucleus. So nucleus is also covered by a layer which is called as nuclear membrane. Since it is protecting the nucleus from the remaining portion of the cell, as like the cell have various pH in every single region. So maybe something is positive, something is negative. So that is why it is mandatory for nucleus to stay protective. That's why nature has gifted it with the layer which is called as nuclear membrane. Next is the case with the chloroplast. It is another huge difference between the plant and animal cell when it comes to the chloroplast they contain. They are responsible for capturing the sunlight and converting into the energy producing form, which is basically the production of the glucose and ATP, which is an energy molecule. So it has a responsibility to capture sunlight and convert it into the usable form. Also, the chloroplast is responsible for providing the cell with the green color. Why? Because the within the plant leaf mostly they contain a pigment which is called as chlorophyll. So whenever it contain a pigment which is called as chlorophyll into it, it would be providing green color to the plant cells, or sorry, plant leaves. And even sometimes you might have seen like the leaves lack green color. They are of the multiple color. Some are yellow, some are red. They vary according to different criteria and their colors. Now, what is the difference or what makes them to vary that much? It is basically the presence of any other pigment except the chlorophyll. Because if chlorophyll is present, it will be providing the green color to the plant. But if chlorophyll is not present, any other pigment is present, no green color on the leaf is observed. Next is the point for the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is basically a semi a fluid material which is providing space to the different organelles, and when the space is providing to them, they can reside well. And obviously, it is responsible for designing different material into it. It is going to provide them support, protecting them from being damaged off. Next is the case for the vacuole. Basically, here is the vacuole available. Whenever the cells are immature, especially in the animal cells, they contain multiple smaller vacuole like this way, and their role is to maintain the water balance among them. So basically, it is their role to maintain the water balance. But as soon as the plant grows by, the size of vacuole also increase with the leaf cell. Now, whenever it increases with the leaf cell, it is going to also enhance the pressure or it is going to also enhance the like storage capacity into it. So that is how it was an overview of the plant cell and animal cell. So as soon as we move ahead to the difference among them, basically when it comes to the first difference, outside the cell membrane, they all have a layer, they all have a membrane which is called as cell wall. It is the outermost layer which is composed of the cellulose. Now, what the cellulose? Cellulose is basically a polysaccharide. Now, polysaccharide of it is basically polysaccharide of beta 1 4. So, it is basically beta 1 4 linkages of D-glucose. So when they are linked to each other, they are going to constitute something which is called as cellulose. Next is the point. It is a non-living and it allows water and dissolved minerals to pass through it, and the cell wall is not selective in comparison to plasma membrane or the cell membrane. So simply, although it is non-living, it is comparatively slightly selective, but it is not that best selective in comparison to the cell membrane. Now, in the plant cells they do have a cell membrane, but it is not easy to draw. But obviously, for the plant cell, our major concern is to study about the cell wall because it is the most distinctive feature in the plant cells. Next is the point that if we just consider the plant cells to look up to them, obviously we have to put on some darker colors because usually the nucleic acid, the DNA is colored, is basically the negatively charged. So whenever the DNA is negatively charged and it is a nucleic acid, we can't use any dye that carry positive charge. That carry negative charge, and that is also an acid. So that is why we should refer to the dye which is basically positive charge so that it can make a positive binding with the DNA. So let's say this is the nucleic acid, and obviously the nucleic acid is negative charge due to the presence of histone protein, and in order to make any dye to cover it, we should use a basic dye that should carry positive charge onto it. So that's it. The next point is that the cells appear closer to each other and they might share the cell wall. Also, due to that sharing capability, they might show some sort of darker color onto them. Next is the case when it comes to the second difference among them. It is basically most mature plants or mature plant cells have a large fluid filled space which is called as vacuole, and the vacuole contain a cell sap which is basically the solution of the sugar, salts, and sometimes pigments into them. Now, what this term mean to say that they contain some sort of storage material with which they can feed in them. So the difference is that when they are immature, they contain multiple small sized vacuoles. When they got mature, they contain one huge vacuole. The next point is that central large vacuole pushes the cytoplasm aside as soon as it gets mature. So when it was immature, cell was smaller. They contain multiple minute smaller vacuoles, but as soon as cell grows by, the cell demand for water pressure enhance, and that is why they need more water and they need more help to maintain the pressure. That's why the vacuole grows much. The next point is that it applies pressure onto the margin line and it develops itself. It gets bigger and bigger. That is the possibility. When we break the leaf, we might hurt the tick sign because we are decreasing or we are bothering the cell with its turbo pressure. The next point is, or the third difference is that in the cytoplasm of the cells, there are many organelles, which is basically called as plastids. Plastids is the third major difference, which are obviously not present in the animal cells because we don't need to do photosynthesis or we don't need to do some sort of chlorophylls. Obviously, we directly receive sunlight and vitamin D is produced in our body. So, in that scenario, they contain some sort of plastids in them. They are not present in the animal cells. They contain green substance which is called as chlorophyll, which is a pigment and it is responsible for giving green color to the plant leaf. So colorless plastids usually contain starch, which is used as a food storage purposes. So it is stored. It is responsible for storing starch. And whenever the plant have to suffer from the starvation, when it faces the severe humidity or in certain conditions, when plant just stop to, I mean, like it decreases its rate of photosynthesis, the plant might dependent upon them, and its dependency is maintained by the storage food particles. It can rely on that stored starch material. So that's it for today, and I hope everything would be cleared. In today's lecture, we have discussed about the three differences among the plant and animal cell. The first difference was of the chlorophyll. The second difference was of the vacuole size, and the third difference was about the presence of plastids. And also, the first difference was including the presence and the presence of double membrane layer, which was present in the plant cell. It contains cell wall, and within cell wall it contains the cell membrane, and in the animal cell it just contains one layer, which is called as plasma membrane. Secondly, we just learned cell wall is good, but it is not that highly selective in comparison to the plasma membrane, because in plasma membrane they are not that. Plasma membrane is highly selective. It is highly selective in something to move in and out even further. They contain some pores or gates among them, which is responsible or which aids among them when it comes to the entry of starch or glucose molecule. That depends. Well, we will see it as soon as we proceed with the series. So I hope today's lecture would be clear to you. Like, share, and subscribe the channel. And if you have any confusion, you can send us an email. So see you next time. Good luck. Stay tuned to the channel.